Tonight's true scary story is terrifying and also sad. I do have to give a trigger warning for this. There is a child's death in this. Now, tonight's submitter did not tell me whether I could use her real name or not, so I'm going to change it to Allie, but she did tell me I could use her son's real name, which is Hunter. She wanted me to, because she wanted his story to be told. When Allie's son was born, he was what they called a heart baby or a blue baby. He had surgery and her husband were given specific instructions on how to handle him with the feeding tube. He needed to be burped after 4 swallows, burped after being fed, and his bed needed to be up at a 45-degree angle. She followed protocol, told him that his mommy loved him, and she fell asleep. Immediately after falling asleep, she had a dream, and she remembers this dream till this day like the back of her hand. In the dream, she heard her son crying from another room in the hospital. She followed the sound and found her late grandmother, who had passed away before her son was born, rocking her baby. But then she immediately woke up to her husband panicking, telling her that her son was coding. Apparently, the nurse heard the feeding alarm and did not follow protocol. While he was on life support, his mother did a meditation to try and heal him. She pictured him and put all of her positive and optimistic energy onto him. When suddenly a woman comes up to her in a vision while she is doing this. The woman is African American. She had a hat that wasn't like a hijab because it didn't cover her face, but she wore it on her head. She had a silver necklace on that had teardrop diamonds, bangles, and rings. She also wore anklets. She started humming the music that was playing in the background. Then a bunch of women who looked similar to her, just not as blinged out, joined the circle. Then a light surrounded her baby. When suddenly the woman who appeared to her first leaves the circle. When she leaves the circle, the other women immediately close the gap. Then the first woman comes back, comes up to her, she holds her, kisses her cheek, and a tear rolls down her face. All as the other women around her disappeared. Unfortunately, after this, her little baby would succumb to his injuries, and he would pass away at only 6 weeks old. Fast forward a week later to her and her husband going home. About a week after her son passed away, she broke the nose of somebody who said it was a good thing that her son had died. She went back home after that and took a nap. She woke up then to somebody whispering her name. Allie. She knew her husband was at work, so it couldn't have been him, and it still sends shivers down her spine, thinking about how similar that voice was to her husband's. She threw some earbuds in and ignored it. They had a 1-bedroom and 1-bathroom apartment. About an hour after she heard that voice, she was already calmed down because her husband was to arrive home in about 15 minutes. She then takes her earbuds out to listen for her husband's keys jiggling in the door when she hears something coming from inside the bathroom mirror. Tap, tap, tap. Now, the bathroom and the bedroom were connected, so if the bathroom door was open, she'd see herself sitting on the bed in the mirror. She looks up and she sees herself in her reflection, but then she has this dark feeling rush over her. What she heard next made her jump up, run outside, and wait for her husband outside.
"Don't ignore me,"
is what she heard before she ran outside. She was screaming hysterically as she was running out of the apartment. It took her husband about 15 minutes to finally get her to gather herself to walk back inside. And of course, when she did, that suffocating feeling just lifted. It was almost like this thing wanted her to think that she was crazy. A couple days later, she has a nightmare. It starts out as her watching the doctors do CPR on her little boy. But this time, all the doctors looked at her with glowing red eyes. All the nurses looked at her with glowing red eyes. And everybody had smiles on their faces that went from ear to ear.
"It's your fault. It's your fault,"
they chanted over and over again until her husband finally woke her up, saying she was screaming out in her sleep. For months, she would hear her name being whispered. Allie, Allie. She'd hear things being turned on and off. She'd hear her baby Hunter crying from his crib. from the same crib that hurt too much to take down. She felt like she was going crazy. Another night she was napping and she hears her husband kiss her cheek and tells her that he's going to work. She was asleep, but like half asleep, not really full asleep, but she did fall asleep after he left. She always fell asleep with the door locked because of all the trauma, but as she's sleeping, she suddenly hears the doorknob rattling back and forth, back and forth. But then she hears it, her husband's voice say, "Babe, unlock the door. I left the keys in there." Because she had a dog that knew who her husband was, it was plain to see that it was not her husband by the way her dog responded to this. His name was Snoopy. He didn't wag his tail or bark happy barks or spin. He barked and growled like he had never done before. He had never growled or barked like this before. Then he started whining and guarding her from the door and barking ferociously. He went into attack mode, which again was not like her dog at all, but she made one little mistake. She responded to this entity and said, "You're not Jay." Then the thing appeared to try to gaslight her. "What are you talking about? You're making shit up." Whatever this thing was said on the other side of the door. This was not how Jay ever spoke to her. When she stopped answering, she thought this thing was gonna kick the door in. She then called Jay in full panic mode. She then put him on speaker as he recited the Lord's Prayer. As soon as this thing heard, "Our Father, hallowed be thy name," the rattling just got worse. It intensified. But then a couple seconds later, it slowly faded away. John came home from work early and they got a room at a hotel for the night because there was no way that she was going back into that house. She refused to step foot even on the porch. Poor Jay worked so hard to get that house, her husband, and she hated it. She hates that she hated it, but she couldn't sleep peacefully. One day, Jay was off and she got her EBT in, so she wanted to go grocery shopping before night church. It would have been her first full day outside since Hunter, her son, had passed. But something in that apartment strained her and Jay's marriage. They were constantly fighting, going to bed without saying a word to each other. It just wasn't them. It wasn't how they acted towards each other. But on this day, they got into one of their biggest fights because Jay wasn't getting ready fast enough. It was one of her worst grieving days. She had just found out that she was pregnant again before they were even ready. So she snapped at him and said, "Fuck it. I'll go to church without you." He said it was fine, but that he wanted her stuff packed when she got home. She left and was gone for an hour. When she came back, Jay looked whiter than a sheet. He grabbed her, pulled her in tight, and said he was sorry, that he didn't mean it. His heart was pounding though. Something was wrong. Something had scared him. He wouldn't tell her what he saw that day, but what he did say was, "I'm sorry. I believe you. I'm so sorry I didn't before, but I believe you now." They moved shortly after that. They're not married anymore, but they're still really good friends. The way her son passed was from malpractice, and she wanted to make that known because she thinks that her son's story needs to be heard. But what do you guys think about this story? I think that this story was so sad. Like, absolutely traumatic. She was already going through so much pain, and then to experience this while she's grieving is absolutely terrible. This just goes to show you that demonic entities or evil entities feed off grief, feed off negative energy. They just feed off of it. If you are sad, angry, upset, if you are depressed, they're going to feed off of that. And the more fear you show, the more they are going to scare you. And it's almost impossible not to show fear because it's terrifying. So not only was she grieving for the loss of her son, but she was also being terrorized by something. And in my opinion, this sounds like it was demonic. I mean, just because of how evil in nature it was. I guess it could have been an evil spirit, but I'm not sure. What do you guys think? I do want to say how sorry I am, Allie, that you experienced this and that you lost your son. I can't even imagine the pain that you were in and probably still are in, and I am so sorry that you experienced that. My thoughts and prayers go out to you, and I will say a prayer for you. I am so sorry. I don't even have the words to express how much I I don't even know what to say. I can't imagine that. I don't have kids, but I can't imagine how much that hurts. I truly hope that you have healed as much as one can from going through something like that. I also hope that your ex-husband has healed, and I'm glad that you two are still friends. With that being said, I would love to hear your thoughts and comments, and she would also love to hear your thoughts and comments, you guys. So if you could show some love in the comments and also maybe give some thoughts, suggestions, what you thought this was, what you guys thought the whole experience was with her meditation. She specifically asked me about that. She wanted to know what you guys thought the meditation was, because in her mind, she was wondering if that lady was crying because she tried to help her during that medication, and when the tear came down her face and she hugged her, was she crying because she tried to help and she couldn't, or was she crying because she felt the pain of her and her husband? She wants to know what you guys think about that. I personally don't think that she was trying to help. I think if she was trying to help, she probably could have, but I think she probably knew that her son, it was his time, and that he had to go, and she was probably sad from feeling her and her husband's grief. But that's just my opinion, so please give me yours. And with that being said, I am going to do my favorite part now, which is the shout outs. My first shout out is going to Leslie Quintana 8317. I hope I pronounced that correctly. You said that immediately when you see my videos, you hit that like button. That means so much to me. Thank you so much for doing that. I honestly appreciate that more than you could possibly understand, because I took a little break and my views have dropped drastically. And so just that little bit of support helps so much. So I appreciate you, and I love that you love my videos. That also means so much to me. So thank you so much. You are the best, and I appreciate you with all of my heart. I love you. My second shout out is going to Ashley Lamkey 9529. Also hope I pronounced that correctly. You are so sweet. You left the sweetest comment, and I appreciate you so much. You said that you love watching my videos, and I can't tell you what that means to me. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for commenting. When you comment, it pushes my videos out, and thank you for being nice. Like, that means the whole entire world to me. All of you guys are so nice in my comments. I have the best little community here, and you are a part of that, and that means the world to me, and I cannot express my appreciation to you enough. So thank you. I love you. Don't ever change. And with that being said, my name is Kaisa, and I tell true scary stories on here every other night that you guys submit to me. So if you're into that, hit that subscribe button so you can get notified next time I tell a true scary story. And I just need you guys to do 3 things for me. And what are those? I need you to keep sending me your scary stories. I need you to have a safe night. And what's the third one? Say it with me. Have a spooky night. Love you guys so much. See you in the next one. Spooky kisses and haunted hugs. Oh yeah, one more thing before I go. You guys, if you have any suggestions on anything you want me to cover, someone gave me a suggestion the other day about something that I'm actually going to cover in my next video. Please, if you're not going to send in stories, please send in your suggestions of what you want me to cover, okay? So I'm going to cover something on sleep paralysis next video that is absolutely terrifying. It's going to shake you guys to your core, and that was actually a suggestion coming from one of my subscribers on here. So thank you so much for that. You know who you are. You are the best, and I will see you guys in the next one now, for real. Love you guys so much.